Good morning, children. Welcome back with the next new session. So, in this session, we are going to discuss the next part of the lesson. The lesson what we were so far discussing was emergence of kingdoms and republics. Emergence of Emergence of kingdoms and republics. Lesson number 7 of 6th standard. Emergence of kingdoms and republics. So far in this lesson we have discussed about the Mahajanapadas, about the kings, about the taxes, about the trade, that means the business, as well as about the different people who are living in the village. Okay, we have discussed about the coins that they have used. Okay, and in the beginning of the lesson we have drawn a chart where I have shown about how a Mahajanapada, like how a Mahajanapada was. Okay, let me just draw it once again for you. So we are talking about Ganges Valley. Okay, we are talking about a Ganges Valley. That means where usually the Mahajanapadas were found. So Ganges Valley, this is about 2700 years ago. Okay, so firstly we have Mahajanapadas. Mahajanapadas. So again, these Mahajanapadas were divided into cities as well as new religious concepts. New religious concepts, isn't it? And again, these cities are again divided as administration, and again these administrations are divided into, one is kingdom and other is Gana Sangham. Okay, and this in this new religious concepts we have discussed about, we have written that they are Buddhism, Jainism, and other religions. Okay, so far we have discussed about Mahajanapadas. So in this class we are going to highlight what Gana Sangham is and what kingdom is. Okay, let me just start with the kingdom. We all know what kingdom is, isn't it? Kingdom is where a king or a queen will be the head. Usually the king's wife will be the queen. Okay, so they will be the head of the kingdom. Under them there are so many slaves as well as many members will be sitting in the courtyard of the kings. Okay, so there will be a palace where the king resides every day. That means he sits there every day discussing the topics or discussing the requirements or the necessity of the people every day, taking decisions, looking after the welfare of the people. Okay, now in the same village there are many Mahajanapadas. Okay, I mean, there are many grihapatis who are the headmen of the village, okay, whose duty is to look after the village and to collect the taxes on behalf of the king, isn't it? So all this happens in the kingdom. Now, this kingdom, the king will be the head of the kingdom, as it is said. Now, it is the responsibility of the king to look after the welfare of its people who are living in their kingdom, as well as to expand its kingdom. That means how to expand its kingdom. So expanding the kingdom, how is it possible? Either they have to just go and have a battle with the neighbor kingdom, and once one of them lose, the other will occupy their kingdom, isn't it? Anyone will lose and the other will be occupying the kingdom, and this is how the kingdoms are all grown in those days. Okay, now every kingdom has its own importance. For example, some kingdoms have the facilities of river water so that the agriculture can be done very well. Okay, some kingdoms are near to the ports area. Okay, like sea coast and all. Okay, so those help for the trading business. Okay, some places they are rich with some minerals, maybe some raw materials like for maybe some forest areas where the raw materials can be easily gathered. So different, there were different Mahajanapadas. That means different kingdoms were there. spread it all over the India. Okay, this is kingdom. Now, when we talk about Gana Sangham, Gana means is nothing but every people is equal. Gana means every people is having equal status. Every people is having equal status here. Now, Sangham means nothing but the assembly. That means in this assembly, everyone is equal, is having a same status. Okay, now we are going to talk about the kingdom which is very much famous, that is Magadha. Okay, that is Magadha. I'll just erase this and I'll write the spelling of that. Okay. So there is a kingdom known as Magadha. Okay, Magadha is a kingdom where I'll just show you the map of India, where I'll show you where the Magadha is. So Magadha is a place. So Magadha is a kingdom where it is situated on the banks of river Ganga. So that is the reason. That means both the sides of river Ganga is enjoyed by the kingdom of Magadha. That means this Magadha kingdom is settled in such a place that both the sides, the river Ganga is flowing for them. So what is happening for them? All the fertile soil is deposited on the ends of the banks of river. Okay, so they are getting, the kingdom of Magadha is able to collect the fertile soil, so that is easy for them to do the agriculture. Okay, that was easy for them to do the agriculture business. I'll just show you where the Magadha is. See children, this is the map of India and these are many Mahajanapadas, that means many kingdoms. Among that, see, towards the east of India we have the kingdom situated here, Magadha. Okay, so Magadha is a place. So here, this kingdom of Magadha, the early times, that means during this kingdom was just started, Bimbisara and Ajatasattu. Bimbisara and Ajatasattu. I'll just write their names over here. Bimbisara and Ajatasattu were the people who have started early this kingdom. They were the rulers of this Magadha. Okay, they were the ruler of this Magadha kingdom, and early these were the first rulers of the kingdom there. So they have started to develop as well as the expandation of the Magadha kingdom. So after they ruled, the person known as Mahapadmananda. Okay, he is also from Magadha only. Okay, Mahapadmananda was also one of the ruler from Magadha kingdom only. Okay, so what he has, what his concept was to develop the kingdom as well as to expand its kingdom. So they have started occupying from the places of the northwestern parts, that means the places of Gujarat and Rajasthan started. They wanted to occupy from the northwestern part towards the eastwards. That means directly from the northwestern part of India towards the eastwards. But that could not be possible. Okay, so Mahapadmananda was one of the person from this Magadha kingdom, and they are the people who have utilize the river water, and they have got the fertile soil, and that helped them for agriculture. Okay, now we are going to talk about the kingdom that is known as Gana. Okay, this is not a kingdom. Here what happens is, unlike the Magadha means here after Bimbisara and Ajatasattu, the Mahapadmananda has come. That means their own family member is coming. Okay, that means no other person was given an opportunity to rule the kingdom, because that is an monarch kingdom. No, monarchy means what? Only one person will be the head of the kingdom, as well as it is an hereditary. Hereditary means the great grandfather from the next generation is the grandfather, next the father, as well as the son. So on, the generation system was there here. Okay, so it was a monarch kind of a government here. Magadha was a monarch kind of a government. Now one more point to be added is Mahajanapadas. That means every Mahajanapada has its own king. Okay, that means every Mahajanapadas are nothing but a group of small cities, villages are known as Janapadas or Mahajanapadas or big Janapadas. We have discussed in the lesson, isn't it? Now every kingdom has one king, isn't it? So all those kings are also belong to the category of Magadha only. You understood? That means how many Mahajanapadas in India we have. I've shown on the map the other day. I have shown on the previous class that all these are the Mahajanapadas in India that time. That was the time of 2700 years ago. There are so many Mahajanapadas in India. So in every Mahajanapada there were the king belongs to the Magadha kingdom only. Okay, now when we talk about the Gana kind of a government, here Gana kind of a government means what happened here is Gana, as in the beginning I told that people with equal status, people who are having with an equal status. Now, Gana kind of a government where there is no one person who is looking after the kingdom. Okay, here Gana government is of some group of people. Some group of people who are kings and they themselves called as Rajas. They used to call them as Rajas. Okay, so the Gana what we are talking today is of Vajji. Okay, Vajji, Vajji, a Gana. So it is a Gana kind of a government. Okay, so Vajji, a Gana. What happened is in the Vajji kind of a Gana, this is Gana means that means what in Vajji kingdom, Magadha kingdom has there is only one king in Magadha kingdom. There were every time there were only one king, as well as the next generations will be given a chance to be the king of the kingdom, isn't it? Every kingdom has the same rule, but in the Vajji kind of a kingdom where they followed Gana system, Gana system means what? Here there will be no single king. Okay, there will be no single king. There will be group of people, and these group of people are the kings of the village or king of the kingdoms, and they used to call themselves as Rajas. Rajas means king. So Vajji kingdom, they used to follow the Gana kind of a government where group of people were kings and they used to call them as Rajas. Okay. Now what happened here is these Rajas, whenever a decision is necessary, they used to have a meeting, sit together in an assembly, and they used to sit and they used to discuss the problem and they used to find out a solution. Whatever discussions were, they used to sit in a place and they used to just sit and they used to discuss the problems. Unlike the other kingdom like Magadha, where only one person is the king, whereas he has to take the decision, it is not like that. In the Vajji, group of people will sit together and take the decisions. Now, here people who are workers like slaves or the servants, women and children were not given any opportunities to participate in the decision making. Understood? The women, the slaves, the children, okay, and the servants were not given a chance to participate in the decision making. That was the only thing the Vajji has not allowed. Okay, so this Vajji kind of a government, many other kingdoms have thought of just ending up this kingdom. That means they don't want this Gana type of a government. They wanted like there will be only one king. Why so many kings? So other kingdoms did not like this. So when other kingdoms came to attack this Vajji government, the Vajji kingdom, what they have done is they have stood together. That means they were all strong together and they could maintain same kind of a government for 1500 years. So they were active for 1500 years. That means many kingdoms came to destroy them. Many other kingdoms have come to destroy this kind of a government. But all these things did not work out. All these things did not work out because they were all together very strong and they could maintain this kind of a government for 1500 years. For 1500 years. Okay, now Mahavira, okay, the lord of Jainism, whereas the Buddha, okay, Buddhism, where Gautam Buddha were all the people who belongs to the Gana kind of a government only, or they belong to the Gana government or Vajji kingdom only. Understood? So they belong to Gana kingdom, Gana kind of a government. So this was all about the Vajji, which is having a Gana kind of a government. Now, so you might have heard about the person named as Alexander. Yes, Alexander, a person who has come from Macedonia. Okay, so what he wanted is, I'll just show you the picture. Macedonia, he has come from the place and See, he's the person Alexander. Okay, so what he was a ruler where he wanted to conquering means what? Conquering means winning. So he want to conquer entire country. Not only country, like entire world should be under his rule. He wanted every country to be ruled by him. He wanted to conquer every part of the world so that everyone will be under his control. But that was not possible because every country or every state has its own government. If you talk about Mahajanapada, if you talk about India, there are different Mahajanapadas. Many kingdoms have soldiers, some have armies, isn't it? Very much strong, isn't it? Every Mahajanapada or every kingdom has so many armies as well as soldiers working under them, isn't it? Now, is it very easy for a person who has come from outside from other country and came to conquer, or that means came to just occupy our country? Is it that easy? It is not easy. Okay, but this person Alexander wanted to conquer every part of the world and he wanted to become a single king for the entire world. That did not work out, that means that did not happen. But he could occupy, or he could conquer the places of Egypt. Okay, he could conquer the places of Egypt where he has conquered, that means he has won the place and it was under his rule. Okay, now, so what happened is, so he has an idea of coming towards India and ruling the India also. So he has started his journey towards India. So he reached to the India, to the from the port area. You know what is ports? Where the sea coast areas are there. So he has reached India to the Indian subcontinent. Okay, so he has reached India from the Indian subcontinent. That means in the middle of the India as well as some Deccan parts, he has reached there. After reaching there, he thought of occupying at least some of the kingdoms in India. But when he has started its journey towards the eastwards, firstly when he came to India, he settled down in the place of westwards. That means west of India he has settled down. So when he came there, he wanted to occupy entire kingdom, but slowly one by one, but slowly just occupying one kingdom. So when he started his journey towards the eastwards, okay, started from the towards the eastward, his soldiers did not gave him a confidence. That means they refused to come along with him. Okay, the thing is, these chiefs or the armies or the soldiers who like along with this Alexander who has come, no, they said that no, it is impossible to conquer the place like India, because India is a country where there are many Mahajanapadas, where there are number of armies, okay, where they'll be coming even for battle also. Okay, group of armies, like thousands of armies are there. There are many horses as well as the elephants for the battle. Those kind of animals were also used for the battles. It is very difficult for us to go and conquer the places, but he could only conquer the places from Egypt to the west part of Asia. That means western part of the Asia. Okay, he could conquer only those places only. But when he started coming towards the journey of eastwards, that means towards the India, he could not conquer the place. Okay, now we'll be talking about the new religious concepts that we have seen here in the Mahajanapadas. The other concept was new religious concepts. So in this new religious concepts, why this new religious concepts like Jainism, Buddhism has come? Okay, first thing, Jainism, which was started by Mahavira. Lord Vartamana Mahavira was the person who has started the new religion of Jainism. Okay, and the other person, Buddhism, was started by the Lord Buddha. Okay, these two people belong to the Gana kind of a government. Now, why the new religions have come is they did not like Magda kind of a kingdom. Okay, that means Magda kind of a government where there will be only one king who has to look after the entire kingdom. Okay, so it was very difficult for them. So they did not like the concept of that, as well as they did not like the concept of Vedas also. They objected every time that though the Veda is a book of huge knowledge, but no, there is no solution for every problem written there. Okay, so they have objected the concept of Vedas also. So we'll discuss about the Buddhism and Jainism in detail in the next part of the lesson, in some other lessons. Okay, and there are some other religions also which has come in India. Okay, so one more thing that is added in this lesson is there is a concept called Gandhara, a school of art. Gandhara, a school of art. Now Gandhara is a place. Gandhara school of art is situated near the Takshashila. Okay, so it is developed around the region of Takshashila. So children, see, these are the idols what they have made. Okay, so these are the idols what the people who are living in the Ghana kind of this kind of Ghana school of art, usually these are the idols which were made by them. Okay, so it is some world famous idols where these were made on the stones with the finest art. These were made with the finest arts. Okay, so they are very much famous for this making of arts, and usually they have made the idols of Buddha as well as some of the idols of Jains also. Okay, we'll discuss about them in the next upcoming lessons. Okay, I hope you have all understood the lesson very well. So this was the lesson Emergence of Kingdoms and Republics. So we today in this class we have discussed about the Magadha as well as the Vajji as well as the new concepts of Buddhism, Jainism. Okay, I hope you have all understood the lesson very well. We'll meet up in the next upcoming lesson. Till then, bye children. Have a nice day. Thank you.